again to Shine Yoga Studio online. I am Jenny and I'm happy to take you through a class today. I hope you'll enjoy it. It's a supple spine class, so we'll be doing quite a bit of moving and stretching through the spine and just getting some really good feelings all the way throughout our bodies. So I'm happy to have you, and I invite you to come to your mat. And you will need a block for this practice, so if you could, go ahead and grab a block. That would be a great big help. And put that off to the side of your mat. Come to a comfortable place on your mat. Come to your back. Bring your feet to the floor and take your feet as wide as your mat. Let your knees knock in together. From here, lengthen the tailbone, slide that tailbone in between the legs, and relax, feeling long on the mat. And begin to breathe. Close your eyes, relax your face, relax your jaw. Take some moments here to settle into this place, to feel the foundation underneath you, to feel steady and firm. Let your mind just drift. Let all your concentrated thoughts leave you. In the book of Matthew, Jesus says, "Are not 2 sparrows sold for a penny? Yet not one of them will fall to the ground outside your Father's care. And even the very hairs of your head are all numbered. So don't be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows." And I just want to thank you for taking the time today to take care of your body, to do something good with your time and good for yourself, recognizing that you are worth it. So from here, from this place on our backs, let's take the block. We're going to bring ourselves into bridge pose. So draw your heels closer into your hips. Take that block long ways and place it in between your thighs. Give it a nice squeeze. Pull the heels in closer. Touch the heels with your fingertips. Roll the shoulders back and down. Press into your palms, your feet, the back side of your head. Let's lift up into bridge. Let's exhale and lower. Continue to squeeze the block, moving the knees forward, the chest toward the chin. Get a nice stretch through the fronts of the thighs, the hip flexors, warming up, using your glutes, engaging the glutes. Get the hamstrings warm. Keep your face relaxed and your jaw relaxed. We'll do 3 more here. Inhaling to lift up, exhaling as you lower. 1 vertebra at a time, all the way down. And the last one right here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good. Remove the block. Put it off to the side. Extend the legs nice and long all the way down the mat. Good. Take the arms up ahead, overhead. Full body stretch. Bring the knees into your chest and curl yourself into a ball. Good. And reach long. Arms and legs. Take those heels over to the right corner of your mat. Shimmy the shoulders to the upper right corner of your mat. Let your hands grab opposite elbows and turn your head. Let your cheek rest on the inside of your shoulder, inside of your right arm. Making a nice big arch here, turning the toes to the right. Breathe into the left side of your body. Fill up on the left side. Good. Let's come back through center. We'll move over to the left side. Take the heels to the left corner. Shimmy your shoulders all the way over to the left top corner. And then opposite grip this time. And turn your head. Turn your toes to the left. Good. Breathe into the right side of your body through the right hip. Up through the side into your right armpit. And one more breath here. We'll come back to center. Good. Stretch the arms and the legs nice and long. Bring the knees into the chest. Give them a squeeze. Let's take the forehead to the knees. Curl up into a little ball. And then let's release. Keeping the knees pointing towards the ceiling. Let's take those ankles straight out from the knees, 90-90 here. We'll be moving into side twist. You are welcome to take the block, place it in between your knees. You could place it towards the shins, whatever you want to do. Take your arms now out to a T. Palms down, shoulder blades down. Let's flex the feet. We're going 45 degrees. Let's take a breath in. And let's exhale back up to center. And opposite side, and back to center. Good, moving through side to side here. Nice side twist movements. Keeping the face and the jaw relaxed and keeping those shoulder blades firmly rooted on the floor. Last one to each side. Coming back up to center. Good. Remove the block if you've got it. Otherwise, just bring those knees into the chest. Give them a nice squeeze. And again, bring your forehead up to your knees. Curl into a little ball. And then from here, start to rock and roll. Cross your ankles and a little rock forward and back. As much as feels good on your spine. A couple of times, maybe 2-3 times. And then rock yourself up to a cross-legged seat. Good. From this cross-legged, we'll take a nice big inhale, lift up. Breathe in. Good. Let's pull the belly in as we exhale and fold with a nice long spine. Bring the hands down. Let's bend at the elbows. Lay the forearms down. Let the head roll in. Just fold in here. Press into your hands. Set those hips back onto the mat. On this next inhale, we'll look forward, look towards the hands. Lift up the forearms. Bring that back nice and flat and walk the hands in. Good. Let's stretch those legs out in front. Give them a little shake. And then switch to cross-legged. Bring the other leg in front. Same thing on this side. Sitting up nice and tall. Root down into those sits bones. Lift. Good. As we exhale, draw the belly in towards the spine. Keep the biceps by your ears. And then when you just can't keep a flat back, take those hands down. Walk them out a little bit. Place the forearms on the floor. Press into your hands. Shift the hips back. Let the head fall. Good. One more good breath here. shoulders on the inhale and lift up. Good. And then walk ourselves back up. We'll come into a tabletop pose now. Coming onto hands and knees. Stacking shoulders and wrists and your hips and your knees. Toes up or toes down, whichever you prefer. Alrighty, we'll take that inhale, cow belly, lift the tailbone, lift the chest and the head. Exhale, round it out into an angry cat. And inhale. Moving through several rounds here in your cat-cow. Let the tail do the initiating. Start your movements forward and arched with the tail. Last one here. Finish with an angry cat. And come back to neutral. Good. Once you're in neutral, we're going to get that spine moving and articulating around. Bring the hips down and around. Let's take some circles here. Dropping down to one side, shoulders past the wrists, hips down towards the heels. Let's go in the other direction. You'll notice one way is easier to move than the other. Just make one figure 8 here. Take a little cross movement. And then switch around your figure 8. Hip to shoulder, shoulder to hip. Good. And then come back to your tabletop. Neutral position. Stack joints. From here, we'll take the left leg back. Toes touch down. Good. Lift into the hands, pressing the floor away from you. Shoulders are nice and wide. Long length in the toes. Take a breath in. Exhale, cross the foot over to the opposite side of the mat. Turn your head and look towards those toes. Great. We'll come back to center. Pivot now on the right knee and turn the right toes 90 degrees behind you. Keep your right hand firmly rooted on the mat. It's underneath your shoulder. It's in line with your knee. Your ankle is also in line with your knee. Press your hips forward. Take that left arm up to the sky. Turn your palm down and then reach long. Reach through the fingertips, through to the side of the left foot. Let's add a little bit to this pose. We'll take a flex foot and lift it up off the ground. Good. We're going to lower the foot, use momentum. Come on up to standing on the right knee. Let's slide down the left knee. Keep those hips moving forward. Chest is nice and open. Good. Let's take the arms down, come back to that tabletop position. Hands and knees. This time we'll take the right leg back. Extend the leg nice and long. Feel the hamstring lift. Press the floor away from you. Nice length in the spine. Lift up the right toes. Cross them over to the left side of your mat. Exhale and look over your left shoulder. Keep the left heel high. Good. We'll bring that back to center. And this time, we'll turn the toes of the left. I'm going to actually come at you this way. Turn them to a 90 degree behind you. Left hand is stacked under the left shoulder. Push those hips forward. Good. Reach the right arm up to the sky. Turn the palm down. Reach long. Long through the right side of the foot, pinky side, all the way through the fingertips. And if you're rolling forward here in the armpit, let's open up the armpit and open up the chest. Let's lift the foot off the floor. Nice flexed foot, lift here. Good, lower the foot, use momentum. Bring yourself up. Slide the right arm down the right leg. Push your hips forward again. And keep the chest nice and open. Good. And then from here, windmill your arms back down to a tabletop pose. All fours. From all fours, we're going to engage the ribs. We're going to lift the knees a few times. We're going to do a little down dog prep with some core work. So press the tips of your toes down into the floor. Press your hands firmly and just lift your knees a couple inches. Use your ribs, knit the ribs in, draw them in, and let's lift. One more time, down dog prep. Alrighty, here we go. Let's lift up into a down dog. Hips are nice and high. Walk this down dog out. Take a couple breaths here and just get the legs moving. Let's come into stillness. Send the heels towards the floor. Nice big stretch through the backs of the legs. Then look forward. Step forward to the top of the mat into a forward fold. Exhale all the breath out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Good, bring your hands to heart center. Very nice. Lift up, and let's forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Rise up. Move like a wave through these motions. Exhaling, forward fold. Bending your knees as much as possible. Keeping your spine flexible. Forward fold and rise up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Nice, straight back takes you up. Changing it up a little this time as we exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Good. Bend your right knee. Take your right hand to your left shin. Left hand to your hip. Let's inhale, lift up halfway for a twist. Opening through the shoulder, from the tail through the crown is a nice long spine. Good. Last breath here. Inhale. Let's exhale and fold it out. Same thing on the other side. Bend your left knee. Cross the left hand to the right shin. Right hand to the hip. Inhale, lift up halfway. Length through the spine. Tail to crown. Last breath. Inhale here. And exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees. Let's grab opposite elbows. And let's sway a little bit. Side to side. Great. Release your elbows. Come to stillness. And inhale, rise all the way up. Bring your hands to heart center. Good. At the top of your mat, hands are in heart center. Roll your shoulders back and down. Feet or hips width distance apart. And slide your tailbone down. Good. Coming into a little bit of balance work. We're going to release the hands. We're going to sweep the arms up, come up on the tippy toes. Exhale and lower. We'll repeat several times. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Last one here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good. From here, we're going to take the feet a little bit wider, maybe as wide as your mat. We're going to bring ourselves down to a squat pose. Maybe work into your knees. Maybe move your pants around. Sometimes our pants are part of the problem. And then we're going to come down into a squat. Now you've got your blocks. So if you need to have your block underneath you at any height, please feel free to take your squat on your block. Otherwise, if you're here in your squat, that's awesome. Bring your elbows, robot arms to the insides of your knees. Press the knees open as you move your hands wider. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Imagine that the tailbone is working through the thighs. Long spine. We have an option here for crow. If anybody's interested, you're welcome to move into a crow pose from here. Take a little side view. Bring your palms down. Start to lift your hips nice and high. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Start to lift your hips high. You can keep your knees here, or you could, if you wanted to, bring your knees up into your armpits. Option's yours. From here, let's lift up, hips nice and high. I'm going to go for the armpit option today. I'm going to let my elbows bend and let my shins come to rest on the back sides of my arms, on my triceps. Crow pose. And when you're ready, bring your toes down. And from here, we'll take a nice little child's pose. Switching directions, coming back top of the mat, come back to child's pose. Several good breaths here in child's pose. Crow is the perfect option for our scripture verse today concerning the sparrows. So I thought it would be fun to bring a little bird pose into our practice. Last breath here in child's pose. On your next inhale, press into your hands, tuck your toes, use your ribs, knit them in, lift the hips high into a down dog. Good. From here, we'll take the right leg, lift up, pull the knee into the chest, step through, drop the back knee, lift the arms, coming into a low lunge. Draw this right hip back in and sink low. Arms lift, stack your hips over your shoulders. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring your hands just to parallel to the floor. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. And lower. And lift. And lower. Last one, lift up. And lower down. Good. Take a lift and a big backward circle. Shoulders stretch it out here. Plant your hands and step back to down dog. On your next inhale, lift up the left leg. Draw the knee into the chest. Step through. Drop the right knee. Inhale, lift up. Good. Let's check that hip. Draw the hip in. Sink low. Arms are high. Take a breath. Exhale to a fold. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. The last one here. Let's lift up. Let's lower the arms. Good. Inhale, lift. Big windmill. Plant your hands. And this time, just bring that foot back to a child's pose and take a breath. Or two. Or three. Relax into your child's pose. On your next inhale, lift the hips, tucking the toes on our way up to down dog. Take a breath in, look forward, step forward, top of the mat, forward fold, and exhale all the breath out. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold, inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Hands hands to heart center. Good. From this position at heart center, we'll take the left leg and step the left leg back into warrior two. Bending into the right knee. Good. All right. Find your warrior two, palms up. Nice soft shoulders here. Sinking low into your warrior. We're going to straighten the front leg, reverse the warrior with a straight leg, and come into extended side angle. Bend the knee and reach long. Keep the chest open. Imagine that you're gliding on a wall behind you. As you move through, extended side angle, and straight-legged reverse warrior. Good. Let's take one more reverse. And our last extended side angle. Good. Bring yourself back up to your warrior two. And then pivot your right toes forward and turn your left toes out so we can come into warrior two at the reverse side of the mat, sinking into the left knee this time. Extend the arms out, check your alignment. Watch the lean in your body. Bring your shoulders to stack on top of your hips here. Reach out long through the arms. Straighten the front leg and reverse again. And extended side angle. Nice open heart. Good, moving with your breath. And our last one, straighten the front leg, reverse. Come into your extended. Good. Lift up into warrior two, looking over the left fingers. Turn the left toes forward. Let's forward fold into a long straddle here. Take a breath in, exhale, and fold this straddle out. Good. Take your hands to your hips. Inhale, unhinge. Good. Tick-tock your feet in a little bit. And then let's come to standing at the top of the mat. Good. From here, let's inhale. Lift the arms nice and high. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, rise up. And again, let's swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Good. This time, plant your hands. You're going to come all the way down to your belly. You can come down any way you want. Take your knees down and just bring the body down to the mat. Now from here, we'll be moving without breath in our core and spine lengthening, strengthening exercises. So our first position is going to be to bring the forehead down to the mat and take the arms and the feet behind us. Palms are lifted. Tops of your feet are pressing into the mat. Your pubic bone is pressing into the mat. You're going to take a breath in. You're going to exhale all the breath out. And on no breath, lift. Now, we're going for length, not so much height. Once your breath is absolutely gone, drop one cheek to the mat and lower down. Take a few breaths here. Bring your forehead back to the mat. Now bring your arms out to a T, shoulder height. Forehead's down. Take your breath in. Exhale all the breath out of you. And when you're empty, lift. When you're done with that, take the opposite cheek to the floor, lower down. This time, bring your hands to an interlace behind you. we'll have the option to either lift up off of the backside or leave the hands down. It's up to you. Bring your forehead back to the mat. Take your breath, inhale, empty all the breath, and then lift. When you're through, release your hands, bring them to underneath your forehead, relax. Take a few breaths here. Nice stretch for the low back, good low core work, lengthening and strengthening. Good. Let's take the hands away from the head, bring them underneath the shoulders, press yourself back into a child's pose. Wide knee if you like. Reach the fingers nice and long. Set the hips back far on the heels, as far as you can reach. Reach your fingertips forward. Relax into this space, feeling that firm foundation underneath you. We'll walk the fingers towards the knees. Bring the knees in closer together. Let's roll over onto the bum and come to the center of the mat. Good. We'll keep the block nearby, so if you don't have your block near you, you'll need it. Bring your feet to the floor. Sit up nice and tall. Let's take those shoulders back and down. Good. All right, let's take the hands underneath the knees. We're going to just gently come all the way down, rolling one vertebra at a time. Good. Let's take a full body stretch. Reach long. Arms long, feet long. Good. And just bring your arms to your sides. From here, you can roll onto your palms. Tuck your palms underneath each side of your bottom. Good. Take your shoulders and bring them down to the mat. You want to feel your shoulder blades snugly making contact with the mat. We're going to take a breath in. Lift up the legs. Good. We'll be doing a lift and lower of the legs with pointed and flexed feet here. So we're going to go ahead, take a breath in. Let's lower flexed feet down. Maybe 40, maybe a little more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, flex the feet. Stop at your stopping point, whatever feels good to you today. Inhale, pointed feet. Exhale, flex feet. Keep those shoulders making contact. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. How do your thighs feel? Are you getting warm? Are you already hot? Are your thighs just trembling? Tight hamstrings? One more lift. One more lower. Let's lift up one more time. Lowering all the way down. Good. Gentle, gentle, gentle. And down. Nice. Release your hands. Good. And this time we're going to set the block underneath us. So bring your feet to the floor. Let's lift up the hips. We can choose any height. If you are super bendy flexy, you could go the highest. I don't really recommend it. I would prefer you stay at the medium or the low for this. We're coming into supported bridge. Find that place on your sacrum where once you're there, your whole body weight softens completely into the block. There's no weight on your body part at all. From here, you can stay with feet on the floor, or you could extend the legs nice and long, turning the feet out, maybe taking them as wide as the edges of your mat. You could press into your head a little bit, lift up your chest, squeeze the shoulder blades behind you for a little heart opener, a little chest lift. Palms naturally open and come out to the sides. Woo! All right. You're there. You're supported. You're going to breathe. This is just a bit of prep work before our final resting pose. Are not two sparrows sold for a penny? And how much more valuable are you? Good. You're welcome to stay here, or you can find any comfortable resting pose to come into. Maybe lifting yourself up off the block, lowering one vertebra at a time. You might like to take bound angle, bringing the soles of your feet together, letting your knees fall open. Still keep that lift in your chest. Softening here. You could extend your legs. This final resting pose is your pose. Whatever feels good, where you will find your place of rest, where your mind and your body will stop to work and the effort will cease. As you rest, consider these encouraging words. Scientists estimate that in the United States alone, 13.7 million birds die every day. It's a seemingly random and rather unpleasant statistic, but it's encouraging. Jesus says, "Are not two sparrows sold for a penny, and not one of them will fall to the ground apart from your Father." 13.7 million per day in the US alone. Hundreds of billions of birds in existence in the world today. Almost all of them have no monetary value whatsoever. Apart from a handful of endangered or noteworthy birds, we don't track these creatures, we don't name them, we don't care about them, we don't know them. But their Creator does. He's in control over every aspect of their lives, their birth, the color and quantity of their feathers, their nest, their breeding, their migration, and ultimately, the time, location, and manner in which they die. Think of all the technology, human resources, and coordination that is required for us to track the relatively few airplanes, in the sky every day. God is in complete control over the flight paths of every single one of these hundreds of billions of birds. This reality alone should be unbelievably reassuring. No matter how it looks at street level, your world is not out of control. No, it is under the careful, perfect administration of the Creator, who has the wisdom and power and sovereignty and is the great author of it all. But that's not enough. Jesus takes the comforting illustration even further. But even the hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear not, therefore. You are of more value than many sparrows. And it is by grace that you are now the adopted child of the one who has this immeasurable control. As his son or daughter, you are far more valuable than any bird. This means your heavenly Father exercises intimate, personal and specific control over your life for His good, for His glory, and your good. Discovering peace in difficult times is never accomplished by measuring the size of your strength and wisdom against the size of your trouble. No, rest is found when you compare the size of what you're facing against the Creator of the heavens and earth. By grace, He is your Father wherever you go. As you come out of your final resting pose, roll to either side, whichever side feels comfortable. Find yourself in the fetal position and make your way to seated. Once you are in a seated pose, let's take a nice big inhale together, lifting the arms. Breathing in, exhaling, hands to heart center. Lord God, we praise you as the creator and the author. We thank you for your grace, for your sovereign rule over every moment of our lives. And we trust you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Thanks for coming. I hope you enjoyed our supple spine yoga class today. I'd love to have you back anytime.